There are movies that grip you by the collar and refuse to let go. And then there's this one. A House of Dynamite doesn't just ask you to imagine the unthinkable, it puts you in the room where it happens. You'll watch the clock, you'll hold your breath, and when it's over, you won't be able to shake the feeling that this isn't fiction at all. It's a rehearsal, and if that's not reason enough to hit subscribe and stick around, I don't know what is, because we're diving deep into Kathryn Bigelow's long-awaited return, and trust me, this one's built differently. After nearly a decade away from feature films, Kathryn Bigelow is back, and she's brought the kind of tension that made The Hurt Locker unforgettable. A House of Dynamite is streaming now on Netflix, and it's already generating serious buzz. This isn't a historical thriller like Zero Dark 30. It's speculative, it's terrifying, and it feels uncomfortably real. The film stars Rebecca Ferguson, Idris Elba, Jared Harris, and Gabriel Basso, all navigating the nightmare scenario we've tried not to think about since the Cold War ended. An intercontinental ballistic missile is headed for Chicago. The clock is ticking, and the people tasked with stopping it are just that, people. What makes A House of Dynamite so viscerally effective is that it never feels like a spectacle. There are no CGI mushroom clouds, no slow motion destruction. Bigelow knows the scariest thing she can do is make you wait, make you imagine. The dread doesn't come from what you see, it comes from what you know is coming, and the fact that no one in the film can stop it from feeling inevitable. The story is told in 3 overlapping chapters, each one resetting to the moment the crisis begins, but every time we restart, we see it from a different angle, a different pair of eyes, a different breaking point. Rebecca Ferguson plays Captain Olivia Walker, a White House Situation Room officer who starts her day kissing her family goodbye. Within an hour, she's staring at a screen that shows a missile trajectory pointed straight at the heart of America. She doesn't have time to panic. She has to think fast. Then there's Gabriel Basso as Jake, a young deputy national security advisor who suddenly finds himself in a room full of generals and officials who don't trust him. He's smart, he's capable, but he's also terrified, and that terror is contagious. You feel it in every choice he makes, every hesitation, every second he spends trying to prove he belongs in a situation no one should ever have to face. And then, an hour into the film, we finally meet the president, played by Idris Elba, with a quiet, grounded intensity. He's not a caricature. He's not a superhero. He's a man who is shooting hoops with a girls' basketball team when the world started ending, and now he has to decide whether to launch a retaliatory strike that could kill millions. The weight of that decision sits on his face in every frame. You can see him aging in real time. The script, written by Noah Oppenheim, is dense with military jargon and procedural detail, and somehow that makes it more terrifying because it feels real. It feels researched. It feels like this could actually happen. The acronyms flash on screen, and each one reminds you that this system exists. These protocols are real. These people are trained for this, and yet when it happens, no amount of training prepares them for the emotional devastation of it. Remember when I said this movie doesn't let go? That's because it refuses to comfort you. Most thrillers give you a hero, a plan, a moment where someone figures it out and saves the day. A House of Dynamite doesn't promise you that. It shows you competent, well-meaning people doing everything right, and it still might not be enough. That's the horror, not the missile. Helplessness. There's a scene where Jared Harris, playing the Secretary of Defense, learns that his estranged daughter lives in Chicago, the city that's about to be hit. He doesn't scream. He doesn't break down. He just stops. For one unbearable moment, you see a man realise that all his power, all his authority means nothing. He can't protect her, he can't call her, he can only wait and hope the system works. It's one of the most devastating moments in the film, and it happens almost entirely in silence. What Bigelow does so brilliantly here is strip away the fantasy. In most political thrillers, the people in charge are either heroic or corrupt. Here they're just human, flawed, overwhelmed, doing their best in a system designed to manage the unmanageable. The president isn't a villain. He's not a savior. He's a man who reads his briefings and tries to make the least terrible choice available, and that realism makes the stakes feel suffocating. This is a movie about systems, about how we've built an entire infrastructure around the possibility of annihilation, and how, when the moment finally comes, all that infrastructure can do is watch the missile silos in Middle America go on alert. The translators get pulled out of Civil War reenactments. The generals make calls. The president weighs his options, and through it all, the clock keeps ticking. What's most unsettling is how plausible it all feels. This isn't science fiction. It's not even speculative in the traditional sense. It's a dramatization of protocols that already exist, a reminder that the weapons are still there. The systems are still active, and the people operating them are still just people, tired, distracted, human, and maybe that's the point. We've spent decades pretending this threat went away when the Cold War ended, but it didn't. It just got quieter. A House of Dynamite turns the volume back up, and it doesn't let you look away. The ensemble cast is stacked, though some don't get as much screen time as you'd hope. Greta appears briefly. Brian T delivers a sharp, cynical line about presidents being chronically late narcissists, but the performances that land hardest are the ones that feel the most grounded. Ferguson's Captain Walker is all focus and control, right up until the moment she realises control was never an option. Basso's Jake is out of his depth and knows it, but refuses to freeze. And Elba's president carries the weight of the world without ever raising his voice. Bigelow's direction is surgical. Every frame is purposeful. Every cut is precise. She doesn't waste time on exposition dumps or unnecessary backstory. She trusts the audience to keep up. And that trust makes the experience feel urgent. You're not watching a movie. You're inside the crisis. The tagline on the poster says it all. Not if, when, and by the time the credits roll, you believe it. This isn't fear-mongering. It's a wake-up call, a reminder that the systems we've built to protect us are fragile, that the people operating them are human, and that the unthinkable is always closer than we want to admit. Maybe that's what movies like this are for. Not to comfort us, not to give us easy answers, but to remind us what's at stake, to make us feel the weight of decisions we've outsourced to people in windowless rooms, to force us to sit with the reality that one day this might not be fiction anymore. The lights fade, the credits roll, and for a moment the world feels heavier. If you haven't seen it yet, do yourself a favour. Watch it, then come back and tell me if you slept that night. And if this kind of deep dive into cinema is your thing, you know what to do. We'll be here, breaking down the movies that matter